Again, this is Dr. Aajay Shah. This is our segment 19 out of 20. Please watch segment 1 to 18 on YouTube in sequence. They all go in sequence. You can watch any segment in general, but watching them in sequence will give you the most joy and the most learning. That brings us to a community well-being or community happiness. So I essentially believe in community well-being, and that can happen by having more parks, more public transport, more lakes and ponds, more libraries, more trails, more bike lanes, more affordable housing, more access to food, and for example, food stamps, more universal health coverage, more psychologists and psychiatrists, more exercise spaces like YMCA, definitely pollution control, and definitely no wars, better traffic sense, better traffic, more healthy traffic, free education, hopefully free college, life learning schools, and mail or online voting. In my opinion, now we are enough of the advanced technology, enough safe technology without viruses, that we should eventually have online voting. So again, there's a great picture for the people who cannot see on the screen to describe it. There's a picture of a park, two people walking with their pet, walking with their dog, and I can clearly see that anybody's in that park will be happy, can be happy. Hopefully you're watching on YouTube, hopefully you're watching on Facebook. There's also workplace well-being, and Martin Seligman has put 1.1 million soldiers of US military through PERMA training. Again, PERMA, P for positive emotions, E for engagement, R for relationship, M for meaning and purpose, A for achievements, PERMA training. And soldiers, all the soldiers have gone through PERMA training. They have less depression, less anxiety, less post-traumatic stress disorder, and less chance of suicide. This brings us to the world happiness. So what are the countries which are happy in the world? Number one is Finland. Number two is Norway. Number three is Denmark. United States actually is number 18. We are the most powerful nation, most rich nation. We are number 18. Costa Rica actually is number 13. Costa Rica. Israel is number 11. Much smaller country, much less GDP. There's a thing called Easterlin paradox, that within a country, for example, in America, higher income people have higher well-being in general, but across the countries, that's not the case. So, for example, Costa Rica is happier country than America. That brings us, for the people who live in America, what states are happy states? California is a happy state, Arizona, Utah, Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, South Dakota, Minnesota. Those are the happy states. You can see on the screen, West Virginia is not a very happy state. Multiple reasons, but again, we all need to work together to make every state in America a very happy state. So what are the happy cities in America? There are a lot of cities from California which are happy cities. Napa, California, extremely happy city. The cities in Colorado. A most unhappy city is Beaumont, Texas. So again, this obviously is by a survey, not necessarily 100% true, but California generally has many happy cities. That brings us to our next current crisis, COVID-19 crisis. That's a major stress for the last 3 to 4 months. A lot of people are suffering. Many people have lost their job. Many people are lonely. Many people are not able to go out and socialize with people. Many people have financial difficulties. And I can feel your pain. I can feel their pain. Mental illness are going up. But at the same time, like I always say, every struggle can lead to a growth, can lead to an opportunity. So let's do everything in our power to be as happy as we can as we go through this crisis. I'm always with you. I'm always going to support you. Reach out to me, message me, and we always will overcome this crisis. Obstacle is the way. Obstacle is the way. Whenever we go through any struggle, we always can grow from it. Watch my video. There's a video on YouTube on how we can overcome a corona crisis. Again, there's a great slide, and it says, let's replace the COVID-19 epidemic with happiness is a contagion, start an epidemic. I hope you can see the slide. Happiness is contagious. Start an epidemic. So I want an epidemic of happiness. I don't want epidemic of COVID-19. Happiness is epidemic. Happiness is contagious. So again, this leads us to the thing that how can we employ all these tricks and techniques? And that's where we need habits and actions. So well-being can be learned. Well-being can be learned. And it says that roots of learning is bitter. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of hard work, but fruits are sweeter. So once we learn, the fruits are sweeter. That's where, again, Laurie Santos, thanks to Laurie Santos from Yale, Science of Wellbeing Coursera course, I got this next teaching, next learning from her course. And that's where, how can we change our habits? That's where the environment versus willpower concept comes in. Again, environment versus willpower. We all believe that we can rely on our willpower, but in general, we can't. It's the environment which leads us to proper actions, proper habits. To give you an example, if you have a cookie in the house, no matter how strong willpower you have, one day you will eat that cookie. But if you don't have a cookie in the house, you don't have to rely on the willpower. So again, creating an environment in your house without the cookies is better way than relying on your willpower not to eat cookie while you still can see the cookie. To give you example, in my life, our gym used to be in basement. Both the weight bands machine, treadmill, and arc trainer was in basement. I never went in the basement. I moved all those equipments in our family room. Now, as soon as I come home from work, I get in our family room. I can see all the equipments. My wife is many times in the same room. I've created an environment of exercise, physical activity, and I do physical activity every day. If you put fruits on your kitchen stand, you have a high chance of eating fruits. So again, creating an environment is very important. You can also create phone reminders, creating an environment. You can do a group activity, again, creating an environment, and make it as a fun challenge, and you can create an environment. There's a great book by Benjamin Hardy where he says willpower doesn't work. Willpower doesn't work. And he goes through many different methods where you can now rely on your willpower. Again, willpower is not the way to go, creating an environment. So how to change our habits? You have to set your goals, and you have to set the goals which are very specific. To give you an example, uh, um, if I want to set a goal of meditating every day, I have to be very specific. That means I want to have how many minutes I'm going to meditate, which is 20 or 30 minutes. Where will I meditate? In sunroom. What time I will meditate? 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Whether I will meditate alone or as a group or with my wife. So again, goal has to be very specific. I have to be able to visualize how I will do it, what benefits I have, what hurdles I have. And then I have to plan. And that's where this great method, great WOOP method, W-O-O-P, by Dr. Ottingen, a great psychologist. This method is again described in the course on Coursera. WOOP stands for wish, O for outcome, O for obstacles, and P for plan. So how it works is you set a wish. For example, my wish could be a meditation. So my W is meditation. My outcome means what I see meditation will lead to. Meditation will, for me, lead to a great health, great happiness, great joy, less chance of my depression coming back. So that's my outcome. What are my obstacles? What time I will do it? I'm busy at work. I have 2-hour commute. Where would I do it? Those are my obstacles. And then I plan to overcome my obstacles. So again, if I start with the wish, outcome, obstacle, and plan, and it takes 5-7 minutes to go through WOOP method. Once you get into habit of WOOP method, you can actually do WOOP method in 2 or 3 minutes. And you can apply this WOOP method to any wish you have. If you have a wish of exercising, you can apply a WOOP method. If you exercise of healthy eating, you can apply a WOOP method. So look up the WOOP method, W-O-O-P, and see how WOOP method can help you. Again, that concludes our current segment. Let's go through reflection. Are you stressed out about Corona crisis? In what way? Next question is, are you ready to change some habits to be happier? Are you ready to be happier? Next question is, What are the top 3 habits would you change to be happier? Next question is, would you do the WHOOP method? Again, wish, outcome, obstacle, and plan. Would you do a WHOOP method? Again, this concludes our current segment. There are 20 segments. Please watch them in sequence. We are on YouTube, we are on Twitter, we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram. Please like all social media. Please invite your friends and family to all the social media. Again, we post every day. They're all healthy tips, greatly beneficial, not just only to myself and my family and my friends, but to all of our followers. I take great pride. I spend at least 2 hours every day on this movement, a big mission I've taken up. So please join our movement. Thank you.